All right, Black Gems, we are back. So you're probably wondering why I'm sitting on the floor with my hands crossed. It's because I am really, I guess, angry right now, really in my emotions. Talking about R. Kelly, right? As if he deserves us talking about him at this point. But you know how like you ever been so mad at somebody where you ready to slap them or punch them, so you talk to them with your hands in your pocket. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna just sit on the floor with my hands crossed and my legs crossed because I'm gonna try to be calm. But this is a mess. First of all, R. Kelly does not deserve to be talked about. Only thing he deserves is the sentence that he's getting right now, and that's being jailed for however many years he's going down for. But what I want to talk about with R. Kelly is by now, based on the videos and everything, we should know that R. Kelly is a bad human being and he's done some horrendous crimes. And I think we should all be able to agree on that. If you didn't 20 years ago when you seen the first video that he put out there, I think by now you should be. But what I want to talk about is our involvement in this, right? How do we enable this? So I'm hearing people talking about I'm going to continue to listen to R. Kelly's music. I don't care what y'all say. You can separate the person from the music. And I'm going to tell you, here's why you can't. You know, one thing that doesn't separate the person from the music is where the money goes, where the money resides. So when he makes these songs, it goes to his account. He gets paid for these things. So when you stream his music, when you went to his shows, when you bought his CDs or whatever, all of that goes to R. Kelly, right? I'm not talking about everybody else who gets paid and all that, but I'm talking about that's where the money goes from your pocket that you worked hard for to his pockets. And what he does with the money is quite horrendous, right? So you should think about what your real world implications and your money, what does that do? Where does that go? And I think you should think twice, or you should know where you stand if you choose to buy his music. If you buy his music, you're basically saying, knowingly or unknowingly, that you support rape culture, that you support human trafficking, sex trafficking, that you don't mind for these things to happen and you feel like it's out of your control or out of your bounds to do something about. But this is one of those cases where we have enough information and we have something that we can all do to stop it. And that's just not listening to his music. That's all we got to do. That's not a hard ask. Now, I get it. We all got R. Kelly stories and babies made and romance made. Man, I get it, man. R. Kelly is the GOAT. It is undeniable. Um, it's just undeniable. There's nobody even close to being at his status as an artist. But does his status weigh more than the safety of other human beings on this earth, especially black people, right? So, what he did with that money, he hired people to lure these kids, and they even got the place, the McDonald's or wherever it was. How much more evidence? They got a whole documentary on this stuff and people telling the truth. You know, he's used that money out of your pockets to hire people. He used that money out of our pockets to buy hotels, to travel, to make accommodations for these women, to buy, I guess you could say, protection away from the law, away from people, to find these secluded areas in the world to do his bidding, to buy expensive lawyers, to buy himself out of jail time, to buy our trust that he figured it out. We think that people with money have just like figured it out. But clearly, he figured out how to get away with it. And we need to hold him accountable for this stuff. So, you saying that you're going to listen to his music, I get it, I understand. But you need to know where you sit and what you've done and how that plays out. And once you know, you either can do something about it or you don't. So now that you know that You buying his tapes have hired all these people to lure girls, apparently, and boys, all these people into sex trafficking. And this is different than other sex trafficking, right? Where it's like a whole ring and they just, but this is all for himself, right? So, oh, it's not that big of a deal. These women had a choice. No, this is modern day enslavement, right? Let's get that clear. Sex trafficking is a form of enslavement, um, where all of this is against another's will. Some folks are being drugged, they're being mentally taken over, taken advantage of. And this is why why it's against the law to have sex with minors. You for the influence to be able to take over somebody's mind, to influence their body. That was the same mental thing that was going on with slavery. I don't see the difference. Take a breath. But no, I will not be listening to R. Kelly's music. I do not solicit that. And it's hard to go against like really big powers, right? So I hear people comparing it to, I seen the Saturday Night Live thing from a couple years ago. He was like, well, you still support the Catholic Church. And he's absolutely right. That's a powerful force to take down, and people don't really see how to dismantle that. They talk about corrupt pastors and stuff like that. That's really hard to take down because you see so many good ones. So how do you point out the good from the bad? Um, but R. Kelly is kind of simple. Just don't listen to his music. I think that's a simple ask, other than some of these other really powerful entities that you don't want to waste your time doing some of these things. You don't want to waste your time trying to dismantle something that's not going to be dismantled only by you. But I think we can all do just our part and just don't listen to his music. Let him rot away in jail, and all those people that he financed and people was on his payroll, they can all start to lose some of their money and maybe go to jail themselves and not be able to pay for a lawyer off of his back. Like James. I'm out.